Hello, in this episode I'll be discussing my prediction for the Democratic Caucus being held May 7th in the U.S. territory of Guam. Now, Guam doesn't really get to have a say in the general presidential election due to the nature of the Electoral College. However, Guam does get to send some delegates to the Democratic National Convention, which means that it does have an impact on the overall process if there isn't a nominee at this point. And at this present moment in time, there is no nominee. Neither candidate has secured enough of the delegates, pledged or unpledged combined, to reach that magic number that they need to reach. So I'm talking today about Guam and who I think will win on May 7th. And my prediction is that the winner will be Bernie Sanders. I have three reasons for this prediction. The first is that Bernie Sanders was the chairman of the Veterans Committee at one point, and Guam has a fairly notable demographic in that there are a lot of U.S. military veterans who live in Guam. And Bernie Sanders does quite well with U.S. veterans who've served in the military. So that's one of the reasons I think he'll do well. The second is that it's a caucus. Bernie Sanders has won the majority of the caucuses that he has participated in compared to Hillary Clinton in terms of, when I say participate, I mean a caucus in which he was one of the candidates that was an option for the individuals attending the caucus to choose as a candidate. So in that respect, since Bernie Sanders has won a substantial number of the caucuses that have happened so far, I see no reason to believe right now that he won't win in Guam's caucus. There's a pretty good chance that he'll win in Guam's caucus. The third reason has to do with the Americans Abroad contest that happened, where the Democrats abroad contest rather that happened, that Bernie Sanders won quite decisively. Actually, he won almost 70% of the vote and a decent number of delegates from that primary that was held way back in early March. But anyways, the point is that this late in the process, it's pretty clear to me that for my third point, Sanders is going to win in Guam for their caucus, is my prediction, because he does quite well in these caucuses, and there's a lot of different demographic factors that work in his favor in the U.S. territory of Guam. So my prediction is Sanders wins. I predict he wins by at least 10% more than whatever Hillary Clinton gets, and that's my prediction. It will be very interesting to see how it all pans out. I definitely am curious to see what the impact is, because I don't think either of the candidates is spending a substantial amount of money in Guam, and I'm not certain that either of them will be visiting Guam. But if either of them happen to visit Guam, that would be pretty fantastic. Just considering how far away it is in terms of campaigning. And it is very rare for a presidential candidate to go to Guam in the primaries to campaign because it's so late in the cycle. And at this point, there's usually a decisive front runner or even a presumptive nominee going into the convention. So it is a pretty interesting race. It's definitely not over. Both Sanders and Clinton have a chance of becoming the nominee. Sanders definitely has a much lower chance due to how big the delegate gap is right now between both pledged and unpledged delegates. But there's still a chance, and so long as there's a chance, to his credit, I think it's a great thing that Sanders is competing in the primary, the contest, the democratic process. Still, I think that it definitely contributes to the debate going into the Democratic convention, and so I think that there's still a few more months to go, and Sanders will win in Guam, is my prediction, and Clinton will get second. Thank you for watching.